Alright, we are back for teaching this woman some MineColonies, and this whole mighty zombie thing is getting out of hand. We need to look at doing some walls around here. The problem is this area is a whole lot of trees, and doing some walls around this area is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. We can turn the forester off of replanting and just let them go to town on these trees. That is one thing we can do. And then we can give them their own little forest area, which it looks like their wall, if we ran a wall through here, it would go right through right here, which would be okay. But the bigger issue is, I think, that we don't have much light around here. So maybe a better idea is to start on some roads. People get around a little quicker, and we won't have, the walls are more for raids. The streets is more for in-town stuff. Because, that's how Minecraft works. We don't get invasions. They just spawn where, it's dark enough. And it seems like a lot of our deaths are coming from right around this area where there's literally nothing here. So we might need to start filling in some of this back area here. Crazy still needs to move her fields from up here. Now that we've kind of stretched the town out past her fields, she kind of needs to move them off over there in the birch somewhere. We do need to get another farmer as well, so we can get carrots going. We also need to work on getting things upgraded, which, speaking of, that's the first thing we kind of ought to look at. Crazy noticed that the miner over here is requesting a pickaxe that I don't believe they can use. So, Crazy, make us a iron pickaxe. And we're going to see if he actually uses it. Because this is a tier 1 building.
Right away.
Well, hell, an osmium pickaxe will work. Here, take mine. Take what I got left of mine. See if that works.
Right away.
I need pickaxe. Yeah. I just gave it to you. I can't mine the emerald. You need to upgrade the building so that I can use a tool with a higher mining level. Yeah, that's what I thought. Giving them the pickaxe does nothing because they can't do it. So give me my pickaxe back. Alright, so our miner is going to do nothing because there's one ore they can't mine, so they're just not going to mine anything until we get them upgraded. Well, apparently they found one somewhere. So, let's get this upgraded. So, who is this one? I can never remember which one is which. This is Renata. Okay.
Yeah. Kason is on the library.
Renata, upgrade your thing. Crazy, you'll have to take care of what they need. And I'm going to do a little bit of beautification here. By the way, the university is coming along nicely. It's like 70% done.
76.
She has to correct me. I said about 70. That's about 70.
And then I looked.
Uh-huh. It's still about 70, though. We also made a residence over here for the miner. And I got to do a little bit of work on cleaning this up. I think what I'm going to do is put a wall in right here. I went and got some deep slate brick. We don't have much of that green stuff left. I got to find more. But I think I'm going to use this kind of like we did over there on the builder's hut. I need to get some more dirt so I can fill this in behind it. But I'm thinking we just do something like this. And yeah, like that. Then we can tear out a little bit of this. I definitely need to empty my inventory. I've been down mining and cutting out a whole bunch of stuff, so I got a heck of a mess going on, as per usual. But I think we'll do that on that side, probably a little bit on this side, and then I want to do the same over here, where we have this major jump from up here where those guys are to this area down here. I already cut this out and re-grassed it. I need to cut this back some more here, but I'm thinking I'm going to cut it all the way back to at least here.
We have a raid.
No, where? Not a MineColonies raid, the other raid.
Yeah, by our house, in the back of our house. Birch Forest.
Alright, I'm coming. Those guys can be very deadly for colonists. But they're no match for me.
Seen you running over here. Where'd you go?
I already killed 2 of them.
Oh.
Alright. They're dead. Alright, so we're going to get some sleep. I'm going to get some work done. And we'll be back when either I'm done with my work or the builder is done with their work. Alright, so builder's hut has been upgraded. Fireworks just went off. And so now we have a tier 2 builder. So that means we can come up here and upgrade our miner to a tier 2 miner so they can get back to work. Which means Crazy needs to make either an osmium or a iron pickaxe and bring it up to here to give to them. And it doesn't look like this is anything out of the ordinary. There is some stone brick stairs we'll have to deal with, but nothing too terrible. Oh, they didn't even get There's not even an emerald down here that they need to mine.
No, that's what I said.
Yeah, but nobody listens to you. By the way, I've got this. I'm working on this. I got to get the corners of it put in, and I got to get this figured out how I'm doing this side. And I've been working on this side over here. This one's taking most of the work because I had to dig all of this out, and I still got to dig all of that out. I'm thinking we're probably going to cut all this back all the way back to, say, like here, and then just have that come back around here. And I was going to say and connect to that, but these are lower. So maybe not. Maybe we'll just end it somewhere like over here. And our university is almost complete. It's becoming nighttime now. So they're not going to get it done today because I don't see any torches. And, you know, he's running over here. But we should have that done tomorrow. So, see you back when the university's done. Alright, so Crazy and I are working on this back area here. She's cutting the grass with shears because we need grass for some of the builds. And I'm transplanting all the dirt that I'm taking from over there back there because I already had to fill in the backside underneath. But our university is now done. Any idea where the actual university block is?
No.
Why do they have bookshelves out back? They have outside bookshelves. It's kind of weird. But they even put little signs up, says civilian, and this is the dean's office, so this is where the university block is. So we don't have a researcher. We don't have anybody to hire for a researcher. But we are going to take the cowhand off for now, and we're going to have them be our researcher. So here is our researcher person. And now we need to give them a job. And this is where Crazy needs to look into into this thing. So over on the left, you see where it says research. Go to civilian, go to stamina. Now, basically, so you understand how this works, it's a tech tree. There's 4 tech trees. Civilian is anything about the life of this people. Stamina is the first one we want to do because that unlocks a hospital. So you can stop doctoring everybody. Everything has a requirement. Okay. This one requires 1 carrot. So you should have a carrot on you. So click it, and then it'll start. Researching. Okay. And with your level of the university unlocks other researches. You can see in there that there's all these that are grayed out. They have to be level 2. The university itself has to be level 2 to unlock these. And then 3, 4, and 5. And with every level of the university, you get more researchers, so you can do more research. So you really want to get the university upgraded, even though it is very expensive. We can unlock a library once we have residences totaling at least 3 levels, which we already do because we have multiple residences. That'll give us a place to have people work at to study when they're unemployed. First aid requires a town hall to level 1, which we already have. It requires 8 hay bales, and it'll give our civilians 2 extra HP. Higher learning unlocks a school. This is probably the next one for civilian we want to do, because that'll get the kids learning rather than running around all day, and they will be smarter when they become adults. Ambition is the mystic site. We're not worried about that anytime soon. With the amount of deaths that we have, we should probably do the graveyard soon, but that means we have to upgrade the town hall to level 2. And then we also have combat stuff. Guards have a chance to score a critical hit. That's probably a good idea to do. Tactical training unlocks a barracks. That one is a really good idea to do. I'll explain why when we get there. Knights unlock the yield of shields. That one is also a good idea. Guards' armor durability is not the greatest thing in the world to worry about this early. And then Knights force mobs to target them. Later, maybe it's more important. Not right now. And then this is where I usually like to go and do a lot of my first research, because it will unlock right here. Unlock Stonemason's Hut. Requires a mine totaling at least 3 levels. We've already got our mine going to level 2. So as soon as we get it to level 3, we can get the stonemason. Once we get the stonemason, they can start making all of the stone brick and that type of stuff. So you don't have to make that kind of stuff. Woodworking requires a forester's hut, totaling at least 3 levels. They can start doing all of the wood stuff. Cutting logs to planks, planks to stairs, planks to slabs, making ladders, all that kind of stuff. Then we have a smeltery. They can cook stuff, so cobblestone to stone, clay to terracotta when we get to that point. And then the blacksmith, which makes tools. And this one requires the mine at 3, and this one requires the mine at 2. So we can get the smelter as soon as the mine is done. So we definitely want to get into all of these lower ones here in the technology. Also, when they say they require a level of a thing, it doesn't mean you have to level it to that level. Like if we didn't want to level up the forestry to a tier 3, we could just build 3 tier 1s. That counts as having a tier 3 forester. Or if we want to upgrade the one we have to a tier 2 and then build a second one, that's 3 levels, a tier 2 and a tier 1. So you don't have to level them up. You can just make more of them if you want. I'm not big on this because you could literally just have them build something that's never going to get used and then tear it down once the research is done. It's kind of goofy. And things like the forestry, why that one has to be tier 3 for the sawmill, I could see tier 2, not really tier 3. I think some of their requirements are a little daft. But anyways, we have our university now. We have the hospital on its way. She's going to get the block made for it. And I'm going to continue my work on getting this done. Yes, ma'am?
Oh, she needs more. Builder needs cobble. But we'll do that next time.
I'm literally mining cobble while digging this out. So it's not a problem. I will get you some here in a bit. So this is going to be a shorter episode, but a very productive one since we finally got our university done. So we're going to get out of here today. It does take like a half hour for that university research to get done. We'll come back in the next one and probably get that hospital up because we keep having issues where our courier is getting sick. And then if the courier gets sick, they're not working, which means nobody works. Unless, you know, we notice it and we go and, well, Crazy goes and heals them. Or does their job for them while they're sick, one or the other. Or typically both. All right.
Or typically I just do their job.
Well, you do that too, but that's because you're impatient.
I just deliver to the builders so we can get the buildings done faster.
Yes, because you're impatient. Have a good one. See you next time.
Bye.